Hello and welcome to today's class. I am Claudia Mühlenweg. I'm the founder and CEO of Holistic Vision and the creator of the Naturally Clear Vision Method that allows my students to ditch their glasses, contacts without surgery by improving their vision naturally. I'm also a yoga teacher and a role model method teacher, and that's what we're really here for today, to release tension in our tissues. So every one of us is tight. We all have tension in some parts of the body. And this method is something I'm using with my vision students and also with my yoga students. And I know not everyone that's on the call today or that's watching this on YouTube has eyesight problems, but if you do have vision problems and you would like to know a little bit more about what you can do to avoid glasses, to reverse your vision problems, then go to myholisticvision.com. There's a free download called 10 Habits for Healthy and Happy Eyes, and that gives you 10 really great tips that you can implement right away to start seeing better. And 100% of my students are out of their full strength prescription glasses, and a lot of them are actually able to completely ditch their glasses. So I just wanted to put that out there. And one last thing about vision is nothing is really age-related. When I hear that, the doctors of my students tell them, oh, you have age-related cataracts, it's not really age-related. It's when we take care of ourselves, when we eat well, it's not age-related, right? Your eyes don't suddenly go bad just because you're getting older. So that is probably a concept that most of you are like, what? So that's just something I wanted to put out there. And I'm also studying nutritional endocrinology to help especially my older students more with the diet, because blood sugar imbalances, diabetes is the leading cause of blindness in this country, and the eyes are often affected way before you're ever diagnosed with diabetes. So that's just a little thing about me. And I just want to do a little explanation about the balls. So the balls I highly recommend, and I've tested a lot of different balls, from tuneupfitness.com. They are called Yoga Tune-Up. The founder, Jill Miller, is a yoga teacher, so she initially called this Yoga Tune-Up. So when you order these, you can't pick the color, you get one of the three, and they're all the same, they're just different colors. And if you want to go a little out and get some more, I use different size balls, but this is the minimum that we need for this class. One pair of these guys. And if you want to get that, they sell a little tote bag that has all of them in there, and that also has the here, let me go for comparison. So these are about the imprint of a thumb. When you think of massage, like the imprint of a thumb, these guys are about the elbow, so they're a little bit bigger. Here you can see the comparison. And then the biggest one is called the Alpha Ball. This is I love this one also for neck, shoulders, for the hips. This is really great. It's more like a fist. So this is great for any areas that are super tender or bigger muscle areas. So when you get that tote bag, you get all four, the gorgeous, and then these three guys. And I'm not affiliated with this company, so I just think that these are the best balls out there. And if you don't have any of these, you can definitely use a tennis ball. A tennis ball is about the size of, it's a bit about the size of the plus balls. These are called plus balls. So the only difference, or not the only one, but the difference between the yoga tune-up or tune-up balls and the tennis ball is that the tennis balls will slip off your skin, like they will give you pressure, or like lacrosse balls, but these actually grip your skin. So you actually get that really nice, deep myofascial release that we're looking for. So it's not just pressure, but you can also do all kinds of techniques. And when you roll with them, they don't slip away from your body. And these work best directly on skin. So when you watch this, the least amount of clothing is best. I have to wear clothing, obviously, to do this video, but yeah, make sure that you don't have any like fluffy tops on, or because then if we roll the balls, we'll just end up being rolled up in the tissues of your clothing, not your skin, what you want. So let's get started. Today we will work at the wall. So most of the classes we do on the mat, and if we have time at the end, we will do some of this on the mat, but today we will focus on upper back. Okay, so take your yoga tune-up balls, and I might have to adjust the screen. And you will also need a corner. So you can see I took one of my pictures down because I don't have any empty wall space. You will need, not for the first one, but you will need a corner too, where you can Ideally one without molding. My corners all have moldings. So let me see if I have to adjust this. I can't bring the computer closer because I put it on a table on the stack of 4 yoga blocks. So you place the balls. We will start with here, with just that juicy, thick area of the trapezius. So you place the balls right between the neck and the shoulder edge. So right here, a little bit behind you. And make sure that you're not wearing socks on hardwood floor, that you're not slipping away. And then you step away, so you place them right there, and then you step away from the wall. Like the more you step away and the newer the balls, the more pressure. That's something I didn't say earlier. It's like the balls don't like UV light. So, and then you just slowly begin rolling. You have to reset them once in a while, they kind of travel, but you just roll side to side. So you're rolling along the ridge of your shoulders, and then maybe close your eyes. You can make sure you don't forget to breathe. You have to reset them after a few rounds. So just, you can decide how much you press into them. And I will show you at the end how to do this on the mat. That adds a little bit more pressure. The side-by-side rolling is easier to do on the wall, and then the up and down. So you can also change this by bending and straightening your knees like this. Oops, they're a little bit, here we go. So the balls for this one will basically travel like up and down. When you do bending and straightening the knees, the balls will kind of go a few inches. This is something that's really nice to do on the mat too, this version. Okay. So I have to step. I do this so often that my shoulders are not that tight right now. So I don't feel all that much, but you might feel a lot. Maybe sigh it out. And if that feels better, the side by side, going side to the side, and do that. All right, and then we will do the corner one. So this is one of my favorite moves, and it could be quite intense. So let me show you how this looks like. You place the ball, so the ball will go, and maybe for me it would be better to, the ball will go right in that juicy spot, right where the neck and the shoulder meet, right here. And you will need a corner. So I hope you can, I can't really move my computer closer, but you will press the ball against the wall and on the back so you won't see the ball. So I press it right here. Maybe I should do this. Let me see. I don't know if you can see this better. That's the thing in my house. I don't have perfect corners. So your torso will be almost parallel to the floor. And then I'm doing my left side right now, and my left leg is all the way back. You get a nice calf stretch. The right leg is like you're basically in a lunge with your feet. And then I'm doing my left side. So you let that left arm completely relax. You can use the right hand to kind of brace yourself against the wall. And then with the power of your back leg, you press, oh my God, this hurts. You press the ball with your upper trapezius into the wall. Let me know if you have any questions about this. So you can just press and breathe. And you can add a little more by saying yes with your head, like nodding your head yes. This is where I feel stuff, because you can have really full amount of pressure. So you're in a wide lunge. If you do the left side like me, the side that you're doing, that leg is backwards. So you get a really nice stretch in your Achilles and calves. And then the side that you're not rolling on is like in the forward, like not 90 degrees, but the leg is bent. So you're in a wide, like almost like a warrior one position if you do yoga. You can also nod yo, no, turn your head side to side. And then you can also move your body up and down just a little bit. So lower your torso to the floor so that the ball travels, again, maybe an inch or so across on top of the shoulder. Ooh. If you want to add more, you and remember to let that arm dangle in the beginning, right? There's a tendency to hold it. So you can bring that, if you do the left side, I'm talking about the left side right now. If you do the right side, just flip, right? Bring that left arm toward the back of your body. So rest the back of your left hand on your sacrum, and that adds another level of intensity. And then you can combine that with that rolling, nodding the head. Let me look if there's any questions in the chat. No, okay, good. Doesn't that feel good? Woo. Compare the two sides. This is one of my favorite things, but you do need a corner. So to do the other side, I'm just trying to think, okay, I will have to show my back to you. How do I do I have to do it this way. So I'm sticking my head back here. But so yeah, you know what to do, right? Maybe you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So I'm doing the right side now, and I'm placing the ball. I don't know. Now I can't see the camera, so I don't know what you can see. But you're sticking the ball right here with the neck and the shoulder, right here. And you wedging it, I don't know if you can hear me, probably not with my head over there, but you're wedging the ball between your shoulder and the wall, and you press your body weight with your power of your back leg against the wall. And remember to let that arm dangle. So yeah, you can, again, you can do a little bit of that rolling, and you can say yes with your head, you can say no with your head, and then you can also put that arm in the back or even lift that arm up and down. So that adds, all these motions add more pressure. Let me see, that was a question popping up. Oh, we can see you perfectly. Great. Okay, thank you, Michelle. It's like my head is stuck in the back, and I know that the sound is not going to be as good, but I also want to get some release. So because I started these classes for one reason too, not just to help you, and also because I noticed my own self-care routine was going out the window, being at home. And you can really just press, you don't have to move. Like really figure out what works best for you. You can just press into the ball, you can add the motion. And especially if you find a good spot that really hurts, just stay there and breathe into it. So don't hold your breath. If you have that arm not in the back, really make sure you let that arm relax. If you have it on the back, you let it rest on the back. This is one that you could, I could stay there forever. This one always, the particular one always hurts on me. It's right here in that spot, in that juicy spot right here. Okay, so you can obviously stay there, and now that you know what to do. What is Clara saying? Something? Can hear you from everywhere. Okay, good. And the pain was intense. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean, because you have that whole power with your lunge. You can really press yourself against that door jamb. So that's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, it's do this as much as you need to. So obviously now that you learn these things, you can do them on your own. I want to make sure that we go through a little bit of a routine and not just one thing, but this is definitely one of my absolute favorite ones, because so that's the thing, relaxed breathing happens in the belly, but we all, when we get stressed unconsciously, and I do that too, we tend to belly breathe or shrug our shoulders. So that's where this tension is coming from. Kathy is asking, can this exacerbate a headache, or can you do these to help one? My headaches start in the neck with tension. So I think this is a great question. If you have a really strong headache right now, I would probably not do it and wait till the headache goes away. But this is when you notice the headache is coming, but also experiment. When I have really throbbing headaches, which I haven't had since I stopped eating all those foods that raise my blood sugar, I've not had a headache. I used to take Excedrin all the time. My headaches are completely gone. And since I've been using these, I started did the teacher training for this in 2016 or 2015. So I've been using these for 5 years, and they changed my life, along with the blood sugar diet and my vision work. Like, it's really a holistic, that's why my website is myholisticvision.com. It's really not just one thing that you do. But let's keep moving. So another area that often gets really tight is so it's the inner edge of the shoulder blade, right? So between your spine and the kind of, when you grab that, here, let me see, when you grab that inner edge here, right? This is the edge of the shoulder blade. Right there is often where we get tense. So grab one ball, and again, we come back to the wall. So this depends on, it might be a little bit higher for you, it might be a little lower along the edge of the shoulder blade. So find a spot, and sometimes it's good to just place the ball there and then just roll a little bit and see where does it hurt, and then step maybe further away from the wall. And it could also be on top, it could be right on top of the shoulder blade. But find an area where you feel like something is tight. Right now I can't feel anything on the right side. And that's always good when I have yoga students like, oh my, like, it doesn't hurt. I'm like, yay, be excited if nothing hurts. This is like, yeah, so right now, just explore. Well, maybe there. I have to step pretty far away from the wall. And then you can also, I'm doing the right side. So you can also do like move your arm around and see if there's a spot where, usually when you cross the arm, that's where I feel it more. And then you can breathe, just breathe into that spot. You don't always have to start moving. Just really check in and breathe. And if it feels good, you can bend and straighten your knees and just kind of start some gentle movement, or again, move your arm around like seaweed underwater, let it float, and feel if there's a spot that feels really, yeah, for me, this is a good place right now. I'm happy, yay. You know, I mean, I feel it, but it's not like the other one that we just did before, where I was like, oh, man, that hurts. And with pain, you want to go into the pain. When my chiropractor works on me, it's so painful that I sometimes get tears in my eyes. So there's a fine line between, like, and he even says, don't go more to like a 6 or 7, no more than a 7 on terms of a scale of 1 to 10. So don't make it so painful, because then your muscles will contract more to protect you from the pain, right? And then you're defeating the purpose. So you want to get right into that good pain kind of area. I think you all know what that means. Yeah, and you can, so what I'm doing right now, I'm rolling along the inner edge of the shoulder blade. So I'm going up and down right here. And then let's do the other side. So if you do one side and nothing hurts, then, and you do the other one that hurts a lot more, then, you know, and I feel already that my left side is already more. So we usually are not equal. It's usually one side hurts more than the other. And just kind of, I like to roll a little bit up and down and just find a spot where I feel the most. And then when you find that, you press into that, just check in. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And then you can add that motion with the arms, like floating the arm around. And usually I feel the most when I cross my arm over. So once you find, if that feels good to you, you can just let that shoulder relax. And I feel like, so for me, this is also a spot, like kind of between the edge and the top right there. So don't worry too much about like the exact thing, just find a spot that hurts and press against it. Yeah, this is, for me, it's more the top of the shoulder blade. And then this is good. And then, yeah, crossing my arm over usually makes it more intense. So usually when I go to my yoga studio, so this is the thing, my normal routine is I go to my yoga studio, I take a class from 6 to 7, either yoga, TRX, or bar, or one of those exercise classes. And I usually get there a little early, do about like 5 to 10 minutes with the balls. And then afterwards, the studio there's no class for like another half an hour. And one other studio, like they have 2 studios, they don't have another class for an hour and a half. So I usually just stay there, move to the studio that's empty, and do this for half an hour, right? And now that everything is closed, I was at home, and then the first day I did it, and then the second day I did it, didn't do it. And the third day, maybe 2 minutes, and then everything went out the window because at home, I work from home, like most of you now, if you work. And, you know, I was like, emails, so much to do, you know, and before you knew it, I didn't do anything. And then one of my yoga students, I don't know if she's on today, asked me if, hey, Claudia, are you teaching some yoga classes? I'm like, I didn't really think about that. And then another friend of mine offered free yoga classes, and I thought, you know, yoga is great, but there's a lot of yoga classes, a lot of yoga studios live stream. And I'm like, but nobody's teaching this live. So that's why this is how this idea was born. And it makes me so happy to help you too, because I live by myself and it can get really, you know, lonely sometimes. So this is really nice. Now every morning I have to get out of bed because now I'm holding myself accountable to you, right? To myself and to you, because I probably would have slept in this morning. Okay, so how does that feel? I feel like I have a lot more freedom in my, let me look at the time. Oh, we only have 5 more minutes. We can go a little longer today, but I want to make sure that the recording doesn't get too long, because for YouTube, I don't want those videos to be more than 30 minutes. So I plan to do upper chest, but maybe we do that tomorrow, the chest. But let's do a little bit more on the upper back. We can also put the ball on the shoulder blade. So again, if you have several balls and you're really tender, you can definitely, you don't have to use the small one. So again, if, you know, these are 3 different sizes. So the bigger the ball, the less pressure. And a newer ball is harder. So these balls get, over time, they get softer. So if you have a new one that's pretty hard, you can always put 2 in a tote. That makes the pressure less intense, or use a bigger one. Hi, Jill is saying, thank you. I need this so much. We all do, right? We all need this. And that's why I'm like, if I don't have this commitment to you now, I probably would have just lay in bed till like 9 and then 9 a.m. my time and had my coffee. So, so if you want to grab a bigger one, if you have a bigger one, otherwise I use this. These are fine for me. Yeah, yes, me. Okay. So we will now explore rolling on the shoulder blade. So I don't know if I can, my shoulder mobility is pretty good, but you know, anywhere on the shoulder blade, put the ball on the shoulder blade anywhere. And then again, you step away from the wall. Ooh, yeah. So for me, usually the area, this is like latissimus, like the shoulder blade, but kind of on that edge toward the arm. But anywhere on the shoulder blade, place the ball, and then just, again, wiggle around and find, oh yeah. And so no need to move. I always encourage you just to find the spot and relax. Let your arms relax now. Just let them relax. Maybe have a slight bend in your knees. Let me tilt the computer down so that you see more of you see my pictures that I had to remove, so I can do this on the wall. Oh, you can't see my feet, okay. Well, I want to chop my head off a little higher. That's why I need an assistant. I'm like, move the screen. I don't have an assistant. And then once you find, you can also do a little bit of side-by-side movement. I have to remind myself to let my arms relax. And again, if you want to do, I'm doing the right side. If you want to bring that arm or move that arm around and just find like, where does it hurt the most? So you can go all the way. I'm right here. You can go all the way to that outer edge here. Let's see, there's a question in the chat. Can you move over the armpit to the armpit? Yes, Michelle. I just stay on the shoulder blade. No, you can go, definitely, you can go over to the armpit area. So latissimus is a huge muscle that runs all the way from here. This is like, that muscle goes all the way to down here. That huge muscle that we, you know, if you've ever done exercise class where you had a glider and then you had to push yourself up, like this is latissimus. Actually, let me close the chat so I see what I'm, okay. Yeah, no, anywhere. Yeah, for me, it's usually, there's always a, when you find a juicy spot, just move, stay there and breathe into it. And then add a little bit of either vertical motion by bending and straightening your leg, or you shift a little bit side to side. So you're doing the little. And then let's do the other side, other shoulder blade. And again, it's totally normal that one side is more intense than the other. And it's not always the dominant side. So let's see. For me, the left one, so far I don't feel much, but I'm sure I will find a spot. Yeah, it's always good to let the arms relax initially. Yeah, right on that outer edge, right? The lateral edge, kind of toward the armpit area. That's where latissimus. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, you have to sometimes you have to reset the balls, they travel too low. Yeah, this is definitely tight for me. Maybe we go just a couple minutes longer this morning. Ooh. Okay. Let me think what else. So another one that I love, latissimus, is just really like, I don't know if it, but you know, really rolling this area. And this is where the bigger ball sometimes is nicer because you have more space. But you can do it with any size ball, but just kind of rolling around like right here, this juicy area right here. Can do it with a small one too. Just have to get, yeah, it works with a small one. Oh yeah. So now I'm doing right here. Oh man. You can do a little vertical. So you can, the latissimus goes all the way down, so you can continue this afterwards. But yeah, let's finish with this today. And then we will do upper chest tomorrow. So I want to contain these to 30 minutes so that you don't feel, if people hear an hour, then they're like, I don't have an hour, especially during the week. On the weekend, it's a little better, but yeah, because if I see it's too long, then I'm not going to do it. All right, and then other side. So again, we're talking about right here, more this area, right? So we're not on the shoulder blade, and it helps to bend that elbow. And then again, the further you step away from the wall, that's why it's important not to wear socks if you have a hardwood floor, because you don't want to slip on your butt, slip and end up on your butt. Ooh. Ooh. It's okay to make sounds. Nobody can hear you. Well, depending on where you live. For me, I can probably scream really loud and nobody would hear me. Yeah, I just have to press. This is a good spot. So you can do this on the floor too, but obviously your full body weight would be on the ball, and that might be too intense with a small one. So you can do these on the floor. I like on the shoulder blade. On the shoulder blade is much nicer at the wall to do those, and also what we did in the beginning when you do the side to side. But you can also go do a lot of these on the mat. So you can place the ball on the shoulder blade or here and do this on the mat. You just have less amount of you have some control. Lifting your hips up will add more pressure, but on the wall, I feel it's just a little nicer. And I wanted to do the corner one today because that's my favorite one. So I wanted to have the computer placed here. So I hope this was helpful. This class was helpful. So upper back, many spots. We can probably do 10 classes just upper back, and it's all going to be different areas. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow.